You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole, and Chronicins Ex Libris is coming down the rabbit hole for the first time, and we are doing the amazing Anne trilogy with three Annes from history. The first Anne is Anne Boleyn, the second Anne is Anastasia Romanov, and the last Anne is Anne Frank. We are so excited. We did just interview Diane van Gersbergen, so we're very excited to support her band Ex Libris for the first time.
I'm so excited to be here. I love history. I know all of you love history as well. So I'm excited to see what Ex Libris has to say about the three Annes of history. The first song we're going to be listening to is about Anne Boleyn. And as you can see on the screen here, we have some images of Anne Boleyn. If you don't know who she is, she was a queen of England in 1533 to 1536 as the second wife of King Henry VIII. The circumstance of her marriage and her execution by beheading for treason and other charges made her a key figure in the political and religious upheaval that marked the state of England in Reformation.
Wow, just 3 years and a beheading.
Yes.
There's a lot of story in between.
King Henry VIII, I believe, is well known for beheading his wives.
Oh, really?
So there's like a huge thing with that, where he wanted a male heir and never got one.
That's so brutal. Looking forward to this amazing song then.
I'm so excited to have Ex Libris come down the rabbit hole for the first time. This is the Courtship. This is about Anne Boleyn. And this makes a lot of sense to be the courtship of the king and what happened in that era going into her execution. Really excited to see what Ex Libris and Diane have to say about Anne Boleyn in this official music video. I hope you guys are as excited as we are. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
I love music when it has like a real story to it, especially when it's about real life. And I don't know much about this story at all or about the beheadings or anything like this too. So I'm excited to kind of look out for the lyrics here and see what they say about it. And Diane herself said to do this Anne trilogy. So in honor of that, we are doing this fully in one video, y'all. Here we go.
It's mad at you.
There you go. I was like, no! Very progressive already.
Very heavy. Very
Here we go then.
progressive metal trilogy.
This sounds amazing. Courtship. First of all, this is just so badass, just an incredible risk, but I just love anything that Diana is with. It's just to think to do a trilogy of like three Annes from history, it's really it's an incredible thought. And just like even what Diane's doing with her solo career, where her new album coming out here, it comes out in 5 years with 2 songs every single year. Like it's just, it's so unique with the creativity that she has with her art.
It's very unique, and I'm loving this official video, how they're going through just with the lyrics and then the images of like the painted images of the actual people that were in history.
So historical.
It's very historical. It's really well done. I love how she's singing about the courtship and not just the marriage, because I could be wrong about Henry VIII, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure he was the one who kept beheading all of his wives.
That's right.
And so it's making me think, you know, during this courtship, if she, I don't know if she was the first wife or if she was like the second or third wife.
Okay.
So if there was any fear going into it. So I'm definitely going to have to like brush up on my history of the 15th.
It makes you want to investigate, and that's what good art does, right?
Absolutely it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is incredible too. I love this guitarist.
That was a really cool lyric. I don't know if you picked it up or right there, but it was saying, no bastard to my name, nothing will make me whole, because I won't be your concubine. I must be whole.
Right.
So annul what was there before. So definitely second wife.
Absolutely.
A mistress coming in.
Oh, totally.
So that's really interesting how that really solidified my memory of kind of history and what was taking place. And I love how she got
the right guy.
Up. I think I got the right guy. All right.
Oh man, dirty. Keyboardist too. Was the time of this king when like the Pope really had influence over the kings and all that? Okay,
100%, like,
so that's why she's saying to like separate from Rome and all that, and like let's do our own kingdom and like let's run this our own way.
Absolutely.
So annulling even can be not just with the other marriage; it's literally with like
the marriage of state
itself.
Absolutely.
Separate from fate.
I have to say, I really love what Diane did there with her vocals.
Yeah, she's stunning on this.
Da, da, ba, 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 da, 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 and how she like the quicken that it builds so much anticipation. It gets your heart rate going. It's phenomenal and difficult to do. So it shows just
she's
how much
shining
talent.
on this one.
She's shining. Amazing.
And every song with her is just incredible guitar solo. So she's,
I know.
Like, we got to check out more of Ex Libris.
That's why I'm always afraid to pause, because I'm like, what if I pause it in the wrong spot?
It's never during a solo.
I know.
peace. Awesome bassist too. That doesn't sound good. Oh my god, that just feels like Game of Thrones.
It's very Game of Thrones-like.
That's incredible. Wow. What a start of a trilogy, and there's 2 more after this? Oh my gosh.
Violently you shamed my pride, O Lord in heaven, bless me with a son.
Yeah. Wow, well, hopefully she gets a son out of that. I don't know what happens, and it makes you just want to investigate, and I know she gets beheaded, but, like...
She doesn't have a son.
She doesn't have a son, so thanks.
She doesn't have a son.
At least you know, and, like, I definitely know Anne Frank and a little bit more of Romanov, but I don't know much about Anne Boleyn, so it's also nice to get one that's fully just, I don't know the story, and then, but I do remember seeing that face, and it's something about that face, you can already feel the soul of that king. It's just like, it seems corrupted, and right when you see that picture, it associates you with negative feelings, and whatever he did do, it must have been more than just one beheading, like you're saying, to have this type of thing behind you.
There was, like, because I know, if I remember correctly, there was the annulment of the first wife.
Right.
And then there was, like, the beheading of Anne Boleyn. I don't fully remember it. Like, I'd have to double check it again. But I believe after the annulment, he remarried, and that was Anne Boleyn. Right. And then, like she had mentioned, like, break with Rome, blah, 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 like, with divorce and stuff. Because divorce wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And so, because they had kind of been in my remembrance, and I could be wrong, and I'll definitely get corrected in the comments, I know for a fact.
Maybe.
And but I believe the annulment happened, which was against the Pope, because there was no divorce and stuff like that. So they did the annulment. Right. He remarries his mistress, because she won't be a mistress, as that was said in the lyrics, and then kept having daughters. Right. And wouldn't have sons.
Yeah.
And back in that era, they didn't really realize, they didn't know the science behind how the sex of a child is determined, which is actually determined by the sperm, not by the woman. Right. And so if you're constantly having daughters, you then get rid of the wife. And since divorce is not really a thing, behead him.
Brutal.
Throw him in, the Tower of London.
Dang, wow.
Right?
Yeah,
it's treason. You throw, like...
That's insane. Thanks for elaborating that way, because it really helps. That really helped me, too, for the full story, because I got so hooked with the music itself. So it's nice to get that full, because, like, as you know, I was starting to think, like, even the separation of state and church and all that, and which is still okay to get that interpretation, especially when you're first hearing it on your own time, but then to actually get the real historical... for people that also don't know too, that really did help me too, so thanks for helping on the story there.
And that's like a very layman's way of explanation, because there's so much
those
more
layers are
to
popping
it.
out more now that's
absolutely
that you said that.
And like very well done with the way that the song went through. And then I love the way that Diane and Ex Libris ended the song, where it was like, just bless me with a son, and they don't actually get into the death and the beheading and everything like that. So
it's
it
just
leaves
the courtship
it up.
Part of it.
It's just a question, right?
Yeah.
So it leaves it up for that interpretation. But if you know the history, you're like, ooh, like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the music was so good, and those guitar riffs
Oh my
and everything
gosh.
was just insane.
The structure of this is incredible. It makes like we're so excited to check the other two as well, but the way that their grooviness when they dropped everything and you can just hear the bass and the drum, I just love that they go that stripped down as well, and it's such a progressive masterpiece. So let's get on to number 2, y'all.
Absolutely. And we're back with the second of the Annes from this trilogy of Annes. This is Anastasia Romanov. The Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov was the youngest daughter of Tsar Nicholas and his wife Serena, and she was the last sovereign of Imperial Russia. After the October Revolution in 1917, Anastasia, Nicholas, and her siblings and her mother were imprisoned by the Bolsheviks and were later shot to death. Although there's some speculation on what the exact date of their execution was, we know that it was July 16th or 17th, 1918, and that was the fall of the Russian Empire as it was in that time.
Yeah, and I've been reading a lot of books about the time period right after these assassinations, so it's really close to what is in my heart right now, so I'm really excited to see what this song says lyrically and just how badass it's probably going to sound as well.
Absolutely. I'll just put back onto the photos of Anastasia there so you can see them, but I myself was introduced to Anastasia through the Disney movie because...
Oh, it's that
Disney movie, Anastasia.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that Disney in so long.
It's so long. That movie literally gave me nightmares. But that's what introduced me to Anastasia Romanov, because there was some speculation through history that it was possible that the young girl had escaped the execution somehow. There was like a lot of to keep the bloodline alive, and it's like, was it a conspiracy? Was it fact? And like, so as it's stated here in history, they were all executed by firing squad. But that's where the Disney movie came from, where there was that woman going through, just living the life of a commoner,
right?
Who then found out she was a princess.
Very cool. Then.
Very cool.
And we got to go watch that Disney movie now as well.
Yes, we do.
All right, this is the Motherland.
I'm really excited to see what the Motherland is going to have in store for us. This is the official video. It already looks phenomenal from the still that we can see on the screen. And Libris has just shown just how progressive and phenomenal and heavy that they are.
Awesome.
And with Diane's voice on, oh my God. Top tier.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with Anastasia and see where this song is going. If you guys are as excited, I don't need to plug it again, but I'm going to. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that like button down below if you like this video so far.
Let's get right into it, y'all. Thank you all for being here. This is part 2, the Motherland. I'm very excited for this. As I said, I am into Russian literature right now, so let's get some music with it. Oh. Look at the snow you already see.
Is it snow or ash?
Oh, the ash, too. So many Easter eggs.
Bestowed upon the palace lawn.
getting to see Diane in like with the whole storytelling on this, and to already guess, like you could feel the snow starting in. It brought you to the motherland itself.
It did, and that cold and that chill.
Yeah.
Like very, very visual lyrics that are coming through with this. Very well done.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. Keep it going. Oh, this is traffic. Almost sounds like Dream Theater.
Very Dream Theater-like.
Hell yeah.
From Motherland's under aurora skies, vast terrains and through the Volga-Waves, from snowy corners over nation, all the people see her family's kin. Oh, my Rodina, home of the Tsars, may you guard the Romanov's rule. How divine her name, fortune and fame, but the truth, if they only knew.
Yeah.
Oh, my Rodina, home of the Tsars, may you guard the Romanov's rule. Through the ice I breathe, until the day that I die, my Rodina.
Beautiful.
Not speak of her brother. What plagues him, his agonizing pains. For the people, they will not condemn.
Interesting.
Wow. That was profound. Man, that one makes you really think, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like, for a political regime to take out like a bloodline that is running a whole country, if we put that into context right now, that's like, imagine in England that one of the liberal or the conservative side or whatever sides they have over there goes and rises up and takes out the new
entire
king and everyone associated with them, and then they get to roll out the way they wanted it. And like, that's intense. But also this trilogy itself is so cool because Anne Boleyn was like before the 1900s, and then now we're in the beginning of the 1900s. Anne Frank's a little farther down, and it's like, it is so cool to see this weave of like these people named Anne that really had big moments happen to them that shifted the whole world, and to bring it out like this in an amazing song, and again, in such a poetic way.
It is in such a poetic way, because like, now that I'm thinking about it, these three Annes throughout history, like Anne Boleyn was hundreds of years ago. Hundreds of years ago, back in like the 1533.
Right, it was 1533 and to 36 was when.
Yeah.
Right.
So hundreds of years ago. But that also, what happened with Anne Boleyn started kind of the questioning, and started like those little
that
bits,
thought.
that thought process, and started
Yeah.
bringing in those questions of, you know, should we condone this? And that started trickling down. So now those should we condone this are now still very prominent when we're looking at political figures, monarch figures, those types of things.
Absolutely.
Tsar Nicholas II, so the Romanovs, that was only 1918. That wasn't that far long ago.
This is in the 1900s.
Pre-World War One. That's literally the start of World War One.
Of course.
Because I'm watching The Empress right now, and actually I just finished the first season, waiting for more to come out, and that's talking about Austria and their connection with Russia and the Tsars pre-World War One, and like how all of these monarchies were starting to waver and fall apart right in that time, and be questioned, and then led into World War One. So it's perfect that it's going now into Anne Frank next.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, because with Anastasia Romanov, all I really knew about her was, you know, the Disney, and, you know, did she survive? Did she not survive? Is the bloodline going to carry on? And now it makes more sense why that was always a question.
No kidding.
Because it was a bloodline genocide, honestly.
Of course it is.
That's what it was.
Exactly
because
what
they
it
had
is.
to remove the bloodline, to remove the rule, to allow for a new ruler to come in. And that's what has happened with all of these monarchies in the past, where you have to remove all of it, so that nobody can then reclaim the throne or come back to take it. And so it's it really makes you think, because in this song itself, how much literally they were showing red blood cells in the pages, then they were talking about the curse that was inherited by the son. But I actually don't know much of that history, because I just watched the Disney stuff, and there was a witch doctor, right? And it's like a ton of fun, but it's not fun. It is the history. So it makes me wonder, because in one of those photos it looked like the brother was actually in like a wheelchair.
Right.
So
I wonder what that was all about.
So I wonder what it was about, because they were even showing his limbs and stuff. So I'm wondering, was it polio? Did he have a hereditary like bloodline trait or a disease or something like that that made it so that he wasn't fit to rule, and therefore the political party over the Bolsheviks
used it as a battle cry almost.
He used it as a battle cry of the next Tsar isn't fit, the next Tsar isn't
threw in doubt
and everything like that. And so that took it over. So it was really interesting to see kind of how history has played out in hindsight from over 100 years ago, because it's now been over 100 years since that's happened.
And like you're saying, this is right before World War One, and then now we're going into Anne Frank, where it's World War Two, and it was so cool. You and I were just talking about like Friedrich Nietzsche, how he was talking about that structure of how like the top people like of the bloodlines are the ones that are rolling out what is good and evil and how to live, and then the peasants tree, like the Bolsheviks, then took over.
And they said, no, we can't
No,
have this
we
anymore.
don't want this, and that
Had
was
that revolution.
and so that thought was happening around the world because, as we
It was the
know,
global
Franz
thought,
Ferdinand
absolutely.
got assassinated as well as the Archduke. So
He
like
did.
everywhere around the world, these bloodlines were getting assassinated because they were
Absolutely.
starting these revolutions, and it's just really cool.
To
And that,
bring in the new era, which World War One started that new era,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then World War Two was
'Cause it-
bringing another
it was
aspect
a war of
it.
ideas, y'all.
It was a war of ideas, absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, in North America, we focus so heavily on World War Two, but we don't really focus on World War One. And the thing that a lot of people forget is, without these things that happened with the Tsars, with the Franz Ferdinand and the emperors and all these different things that happened, and all these bloodlines that were taken out throughout history that
Yeah.
started World War One. World War Two wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for World War One.
Of course.
But in North America, we don't focus on any of that. It's like, you get like 3 days where you kind of learn about all of pre 1940
Yeah.
in 3 days, and you forget all of it, and then you spend 4 months on 1940. And that's kind of with our education system. So it's really interesting coming back to this now, seeing in a musical format how it's brought together. And it makes you question and have questions. Like, I never even thought that Anastasia Romanov's brother could have had a disease that caused as a battle cry to then take out the bloodline.
No kidding.
Right?
There's a weakness, and
A
people want
weakness,
to go and
so-
attack it. We're all vultures and want our
Absolutely.
own stuff eventually,
At
right?
the end of the day, human beings are predators.
Yeah, that's why it's really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and for music to bring out this conversation again, 2 for 2. So
Absolutely.
now we are going on to number 3, y'all, to end the trilogy.
I can't believe how good those last 2 Anne songs were. The Courtship with Anne Boleyn and The Motherland with Anastasia Romanov. And now we are here with The Diary of Anne Frank. I am so excited to be here with Anne Frank. I have read The Diary of Anne Frank. We have done a lot
Yeah.
of research and just education on Anne Frank through school, and just what we've been brought up with here in North America.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now getting into this song with Ex Libris, I can't wait to see what they have in store for us. As many of you know, Anne Frank, or Anneliese Marie Frank, was a German-born Jewish girl who kept a diary in which she documented life in hiding under Nazi persecution. She is a celebrated diarist who described everyday life from her family hiding place in Amsterdam attic. This is going to be an amazing song. I already know this because of how much information about Anne Frank is out there. So I'm really excited to see what Ex Libris and Diane have in store for us with The Diary.
Yeah, we're ending this trilogy with something that we know a bit more of because, like you said, some of the history we get into a lot over in North America is from the 1940s, and especially what happened with the Nazi persecution.
Absolutely.
So we all had to read The Diary of Anne Frank,
In
and
school.
so that's really cool for us that we're now checking out a song that we somewhat know. So let's see how Ex Libris does it with this amazing progressive metal band that we're so happy to finally have down the rabbit hole. Hope you guys have enjoyed this trilogy. Let's finish it off now, y'all. This is The Diary. Diary time! It did it again! Yeah. This feels like you're just in the attic, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes! Wow. She got to fully embody all of these characters.
The
Yes,
water
she did.
softly glistens, reflects the carmine sky, while I stroll and savor this day. Another year gone by, these sweets and flowers have thoroughly spoiled me,
Beautiful.
but none so grand as you, my dear diary,
Wow.
my friend. deepest thoughts. I'm quirky, but I'm honest and fair. We'll share both tears and laughs, dear diary.
Quirky, honest, and fair.
Yeah.
Perfect way to explain Anne Frank. And like
Yeah,
a lot of
very.
people are like, why did it become such a big thing? And it's like, it's because of how honest she was about what was going on, but yet she should still find the beauty in the situation she was in, and that's really inspiring.
And there was still some comedy and stuff in there that she
even the irony
and like almost like a dark humor, but a way to understand and like a way to get through it.
The diary is the friend.
The diary is the friend.
Yeah.
Should know.
So intimate here too.
We live in dangerous times. I'm German born, but Jewish, and therefore disgraced. In the arms of Amsterdam, we found shelter from the unknown, whether earth or human born. There's a harbor for every storm. In the heart of Amsterdam, we have found ourselves a home. She has cradled us and shown there is love for whom I bow stone.
De Duitsers zijn nu ook in Nederland aangekomen. En met hen ook de Jodenvervolging. Mijn geliefde Amsterdam is niet meer zo veilig als voorheen. Er volgt Jodenwet op Jodenwet. Joden mogen niet meer in de tram. Joden mogen enkel tussen 3 en 5 winkelen in Joodse winkels. Joden dienen na 8 uur 's avonds thuis te zijn. En moeten te alle tijden een Jodenster dragen.
In the
I wonder if she was actually reading out one of the pages.
It feels like it was.
It feels like it was.
That sure hit like it was.
Absolutely it did. Oh my goodness, and the way that she can do that acting and that with like the facial expressions and the vocals and everything, like that hit deep in my heart. I don't even know what was said.
It felt painful though.
It
It
felt
almost
very
felt like
painful.
it was like you knew what was coming, because like a lot of the times when you're about to get captured, a lot of people give you those warnings.
There are warnings. That's something that
Or
I
even
have.
premonition and fear. Who even knows,
Yeah.
right? But
There's always like if you watch an animal and there's danger coming, you can sense it, whether you follow through with the sensation
yeah,
or let it bypass you. There is always that
check.
sense, that check. There's a self-check.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure what was being said there, but it sounded like that self-check that was being written.
It sure felt sorrowful.
Een Jodenster dragen.
In the arms of Amsterdam, we found shelter from the unknown, but the menacing storm has brought the darkest of foes in the heart of Amsterdam, where we found ourselves a home. We await what is to come, while the bells of Amsterdam toll.
Wow.
Wow, and if Amsterdam gave her that safe haven for the time she was alive, and we know that Diane and Joost are both from the Netherlands, then they have that real pride for what to be associated to have this diary, have a place to get out, because without that person giving her that place to do it,
That diary never would have made it out. It
would
would
have
have been
never made it
burned.
out there. And I always told people when I was growing up, I was always so confused by World War II. I'm like, wouldn't everyone hide a Jew? Or like, why don't the Jews just like deny what they are and then just like it's all good? Because that was back when I was lying and thought you can get away with reality, right? But like, that's what makes Anne so powerful, is she was being so honest with what was going on through that really tumultuous time for them, a dangerous time. We think things are dangerous over where we're at and things are hard. We don't know what real pressure is.
No, we don't.
That's not even like, so it's
I have
amazing
no idea.
how you just live in all this whole trilogy from over 500 years of Anne's lives around that time.
Absolutely.
And it was just such a good journey, and we love history, so like we started nerding out so much about history, but we love progressive metal, so we also loved
Yes.
that part of it too. And we just had an awesome interview that's coming out, as y'all know, with Diane as well, so we're also hyped on that, and as her as a person, so we're getting to see the band that we haven't checked out with Ex Libris now, that also feels like now we're checked and we actually know everything that she's done, and also just how amazing this band is too. I never really got to shout out the drummer yet. I mentioned the bassist and the guitars, how good they are, but the drummer was incredible there too. So please let us know all these amazing artists as well, because this trilogy is incredible, and a lot of amazing symphonic bands are doing these type of trilogies.
They are. This is an amazing trilogy, and no wonder Diane herself recommended this to
Good picks.
us, because it does showcase not only her vocals and her range and what she's
Yeah.
able to do
Holy crap.
so beautifully as an artist, but it showcases her band and how phenomenal they can be and how progressive they are,
Yeah.
because there have been times where it's very slow and very operatic, where it feels like it could be an opera.
Yes,
There are
big time.
times when it is so progressive that it's giving us Dream Theater vibes,
This progressive.
like that progressive. There are also times where like Yost comes in,
Yeah,
and it's just
so
that
intimate.
very intimate, where you just have the piano, but you also have everything else that's going around
Yep.
with the strings and things in the background. So it's showing so many sides of this band and everyone who's involved in it.
Yeah.
And how talented they are. So
Amazing
it is
official videos too.
phenomenal official videos, and each video was so different as well.
Yeah.
Which showcases the talent on the imagery
They
for
can create
this.
different meals.
They can create different meals.
Yeah.
This was a full course meal
It sure
of
was.
everything that
Yeah.
they're capable
Because
of.
that was a dessert at the end, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
But it was like a dessert where it's like, okay, like I've had this, but now like this was delicious and I enjoyed what it was that I just experienced, but now I'm going away thoughtful,
Oh, absolutely.
because what I just experienced
You'll
was so well done that I'm going to remember this, and I'm going to have to tell my friends. I'm going to have to talk about it with my community, because it's going to leave you with that lingering in your senses.
Yeah, and there's so many Easter eggs all throughout this video
Absolutely.
and in the lyrics itself. And something I wanted to highlight from the diary as well, was the way that she changed between her outfits when she was talking about when she was finally in her sanctuary in Amsterdam, and how
Yeah.
like she was able to put on the clothes that she finally wanted to, and like,
And felt safe,
right,
and
because
felt you
the
were
Jews had to
intact.
wear a certain thing to show who they were and all that stuff
Absolutely.
too. So like, I can't imagine the lack of freedom that was happening there.
And then to feel that you are free only to no longer be free, because like Anne Frank and her family, their grave where they're buried is in a camp.
Oh wow, okay.
So they are buried in a concentration camp, I
Right.
believe it is. I can't remember the name of it.
So they got
So
captured
they got
and
captured.
everything.
They got
Yeah,
captured. They got
I thought
taken.
so.
And because I believe, like in the song lyrics, something, the darkness came to Amsterdam eventually.
Yeah.
And so then her diary is what made it through. Her diary was left behind, but her and her family were captured.
Right.
And they were
Yeah,
taken, and I believe they were even executed, just like
Of
every,
course.
right?
Most of them did if they made it there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they are buried in a camp, which is very sad. But to be able to have left such a huge imprint on history and on society, to be able to then say what has happened, because the diary of Anne Frank is just as powerful as the Gulag Archipelago.
Oh, absolutely it is.
When
The
you're-
pen's mightier than the sword, and
It
all
is.
these amazing stories
Absolutely
like
it
this
is.
really can just break any tyranny there is. Just keep speaking
Mm-hmm.
truth. People, you can even be dead, and then they find out what you just went through, and because you're honest about it, it's like, this is what happened. We need to bring justice to this, and
Absolutely.
it's good to see what all these amazing ladies went through, and we can hopefully learn from what they went through too. And the music was incredible as well. So this is definitely a band that's going to go onto my playlist. I can't wait to listen to this again and to really just hear it from start to finish with not all the interruptions as well. And we're
Absolutely.
going to definitely put on some chapters for this amazing trilogy video so that you guys can either jump through all this stuff, but it was really fun to actually analyze all this.
It was, and
And
be able
give
to
it
talk
its
about it
full
together.
credit due, and I hope
Yes.
you all liked it as well, Chronicins. If you did, let us know by hitting that like button, and also go to X Libris's page and subscribe to them to give them some support as well if you enjoyed them. Thank you all so much. We are now exiting the rabble.
Thank you again for being here with us in this amazing trilogy. And thank you again, Diane, for telling us about this being the one to check out. This was absolutely phenomenal. Peace and love, everyone.
God bless y'all.
Take care and bye for now.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
Special thanks to all of our YouTube, Patreon, and Buy Me a Coffee members. Thank you for all of your support.
Thank you all so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you had a good time and you are new to the channel and you don't want to miss the next one, here is a very easy way that you can make it to our next one by hitting the subscribe button. If you liked what you heard on this video and you want to support this artist, then an easy way to do that is going right here. And I think we have a really good video for you right here that we think you will enjoy. Thank you all so much. See you next time.